Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Random Mash. This is our episode 15, Leaf Before the Blend. And we have a special guest of this episode, Hendrik Kelner Jr. from the KBF Factory. We also have our man, Sal Aperf is back from his hiatus, whatever he was doing far away
The skinny,
overseas.
skinny ape.
I know, 30 pounds lighter. Anyway,
Yeah,
and
pretty much dead on 30 pounds.
and our man Ian, and myself, Martin from Broncano Cigars. So before we get started, let's have everybody go around and do an actual personal introduction, and then from there we're gonna just give it to you, Hendrik.
Sure
Sal,
thing.
if you want to go first.
Yeah, I'll go first. So Sal, aka Perf, over on Instagram and YouTube channel. YouTube enthusiast, cigar enthusiast, reviewer, all about the culture, keeping it 100% honest. Been doing it for, man, I think I just hit a year. Little bit of a hiatus as I take care of a few things, but definitely will be back once I'm able to. But yeah, just kind of on a journey, smoking pretty much anything and everything, expanding the palette. I've learned a lot being with these boys here, and looking forward to exploring a lot more.
Very well.
Ian.
Everybody knows me, Mr. Zeno, the KBF for himself. Glad to have my guy Sal back. Looks good. It's healthy. We got this is probably gonna be my favorite episode probably ever because we got the GOAT.
Oh.
He hates it, but I'm gonna say it. I'm probably gonna say it a bunch of times, and he's probably gonna send me a message later saying, "Don't call me that no more. I'm a humble man." But to me, Hendrik Kelner Jr. is the GOAT, bar none. There is no discussion. Like I'm like a little kid right now in a candy store because I got the GOAT on my little podcast that has blown up in 3 months just from us taking an idea in a group chat and it was like, hey, let's just put it on camera because these other guys are boring me. And it's taking off. Like if we're gonna be honest, but I don't know what everybody else is smoking tonight. I'm obviously smoking something from the GOAT. Sir Louis the 14th, Double Perfecto.
Oh, wow,
One of my
nice.
favorite blend, so I had to pull it out. But happy that you're on. It's gonna be a fun episode tonight.
Got the Aviator, luxury cigar. Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
very good. So my turn now.
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Hendrik Kelner Jr. I'm from Santiago, Dominican Republic. I work at KBF Kelner Boutique Factory, which is a all premium cigar factory in Dominican Republic, and I'm doing this all my life, in the good times, in the bad times, in the regular times, this time and hopefully in the future. I have a great family. My kids are, growing up. The oldest one works with me already, and I have a long history in tobacco and in cigars, and very very proud of what I do. I have, I mean, as the show goes on, you can ask questions, and there's like so many things um, that we can share, about my experience. I'm a guy who's not a showmaker. I'm not let's say, a guy that tells you stories so you buy his cigars. I'm more not an introverted, but more in the factory. I'm much more production quality than go, marketing, show off, and all that. So that's one of the reasons you don't see me that much. I'm very much focused in quality and in factory, and I'm nowhere near goat. And for you to find a goat is difficult because I've been in a room with many experts of tobacco in my life, many guys that my father and the older generation, and those guys, are really, really good at what they do. And in my experience, the goat in the room is the one who talks less, the one who doesn't say anything, the one who just admires the cigar, admires the process, enjoys, lives the process, and keeps it to himself, because this is it's a mystery world. It's a wonder. There's so many things you don't understand about tobacco, and you can just appreciate the nature of it. And normally, the people that speaks the less, that's the goat. So that's my take on that. All right, go ahead.
Perfect.
Oh, so
Hey,
you're the goat by your definition then.
Uh, I'm going to speak tonight, so
hey, Sal. Okay, Sal. There
okay.
you go.
So
Perfect.
go.
So, oh, it's smoking the ruby.
Oh,
Ruby.
Ooh.
Actually,
I
I'm gonna
There
smoke
it
the
is.
ruby. Actually, I have it here, so I'm gonna smoke the ruby as well.
Pulled out an audible real quick.
Yeah.
So, since you brought up the ruby, so one of the questions that I've been getting, and I got it. Yes, I was on a podcast yesterday, and so the correct enunciation of the San Andre is it maroon? Is that the correct enunciation of the word?
okay. Morron. That's the
Maroon.
tobacco supplier that I buy the tobacco from. He it is Mexico. It is San Andres, but we call it morron. So I said,
Maroon.
so yeah, not moron, but morron.
Maroon.
Roll that R, Martin. Marron.
I can't.
Yeah.
I'm from Wisconsin. I can't. So with that,
Bingo.
so
Wait.
the
Who's in Wisconsin now? Oh yes. Very.
yes,
I lived 1 year of my life there. I told you that. That's really nice.
it's a great time, right?
Yep, it was fun. I don't know now. Probably too cold.
Now,
Like outside, these are the palm trees. I'm in my house outside, and this is our winter. It's perfect. Lucky to be here in a way.
yes. So with that with that the fermentation process on that is actually different than uh, from my understanding. Like it uses like a low heat and it's fermented longer. Is that correct for the San Andreas on that?
Okay. All tobaccos are fermented, and depends if it's from the lower part of the plant or the higher part of the plant. You need to do longer fermentation in piles. But besides that, it's also the policy of each tobacco fermenter or each company that ferments tobacco, which way and how long they want to ferment, and also how high do they want to get the heat in the pile. So it really depends on the company and the type of tobacco and the culture that they accept as valid for the fermentation.
Okay.
Like Dominican, it's normal and in fermentation maybe 6 to 8 months, but there are some countries that is less, and then they instead of fermenting, they age it in bales longer to compensate. But it really depends on the policy of the factory.
Mhm. That makes sense. Zeno,
Oh, you sure you want me to start? Now you know I'm
go ahead.
Go
all
ahead.
right. So I have a question because obviously, everybody knows. I mean, they could tell by the shirt. I'm very good friends with Hunter.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah. Hello to
yeah, he said he's gonna hop on. He's antisocial and he doesn't like to do anything unless it's making him money or it's extracurricular activities. If he's able to do yoga,
yeah.
um,
Oh my. Well, he's very.
so obviously him being good friends with you, I've seen over these last couple of years. Every time he's been in the factory, he's always called me either while he's there or that night, and he's talked about your tobacco storage
Uh-huh.
and how insane it is. I just want to know, like, what's some of your favorite, if not the favorite, tobacco that you like working with?
Okay, okay. So yeah, of course, in tobacco we have the filler, the binder, and the wrapper, right? And um, the thing is, I'm in a way blessed to have tobaccos that are very rare, and not just saying rare, but very difficult to find. And the thing is, since I'm a small factory, very small factory, like some companies do test on some seeds, on some areas, some different tobaccos and sets, they are, let's say, 10 bales. They cannot offer that to a huge factory because that's nothing. That's like 2 days of production. But in my case, that's a limited edition. That's like 6 months. So put in the right proportion. So I have a lot of rare tobaccos, and I have some very old tobaccos. Like for example, I have tobacco that I bought when I left Davidoff in 2012, and I bought some tobacco from Bonao and some wrapper from Bonao, and that wrapper was already 11 years old, and that was 13 years ago. So that wrapper is that's 25 years old already. So imagine who has tobacco that old. So those are very special tobaccos that I use on very limited cigars, on some special cigars. But if I have to choose a favorite, I have to say it's the Monte Plata, we call it, but it's the Yamasa tobacco, either from my sister or some of the bales that I have from my dad. Those are for me the most special taste, the most interesting, and the one who blends the best with other tobaccos. So that's probably my favorite tobacco.
Okay.
Okay.
So are you the only? So Hendrik, yourself and your sister and Davidoff are the only ones that has access to the tobacco from the Yamasai region.
Oh, let's be careful not mentioning Davidoff. Uh,
Okay.
Farmer from the Yamasa region, and my dad has his own farm from the Yamasa
Mm.
region, and he sells by contract to Tawadom, the company that Davidoff
Okay.
is. And but they're independent farmers. Um, but yeah, some of those special tobaccos go for them, for the big company, and some stay with me, and some goes also to my brother Clas Peter, who has a factory. So all, but that's in the family, that Yamasa tobacco.
Okay. So so anyway, last year I visited your factory.
Yeah.
It was around this time. So the day I came to the factory, I had just left La Aurora, and they actually gave me a cigar to smoke. So I smoked the cigar there. Then I came to your factory like immediately after because Manuel, he's like very fast on things he does. So I only had like 45 minutes.
Huh?
And so we smoked like I think it was 2 cigars he had me try or whatever. And then I left and I came to your factory. So you had gave me a cigar that was I guess for somebody in Europe, it was like a thicker ring gauge, a bigger ring gauge, I should say. So anyway, so I was sitting there and you had ordered food, then you had disappeared for a while. And I don't know if you know this, I almost died that day because I started sweating. Um, started sweating like crazy. So I went outside. I came back inside. I sat under the air conditioning, and your wife was like, "Hey, you want some more coffee?" I was like, "No, I'm good." Then I was like, "When is the food coming?" So the food finally came. He was like, "Well, Hunter will be here, for an hour or so if you want to wait and meet him." I was like, "Okay, I'll wait." So I went upstairs, ate the food. But when I was upstairs, I started sweating more. And then when I came back downstairs, I tried to go outside, sat under the AC. So man, the cigar was extremely strong. And I said to you, I said, "Hey man, I got to do number 2." So I need to go back to the hotel. But I was trying to get out of there because I don't want you guys to see me passed out from the cigars.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But
So
if you, because I don't make that strong cigars, like that strong at all. Maybe it was the previous cigar.
yeah, it could have been the humidity. Then, because I had like 4 cups of coffee that day, like that strong Dominican
Oh
coffee.
yeah.
Then it was Yeah, so it's all that the entire combination, and so it took 15 minutes to get back to the hotel. By the time I made it to the hotel, I was all better, but it was just like that entire time, man. I was sweating like crazy. I'm surprised that you didn't notice, man.
No, no, no. I mean, I thought you were kind of in a hurry, but I didn't know it was that. Well, here, use our bathroom. It works. That's
He's
great.
a spoiled American, Hendrik. That's why.
You're brave sharing that. Some people will not forget.
He's got no shame.
But
He's got no shame. Question from the chat, Big Bear in Training. What are you making with the Oscuro Yamasa?
you mean? Yeah, sorry, you mean the rapper? Hello.
Not sure.
No, you mean oscuro, like dark, or what?
I'm assuming Big Bear. If
Yeah,
you can
that's basically
elaborate.
that's what it seems like. The Oscuro Yamasa.
Is it
Okay.
typically used as a rapper?
Yamasa. The thing about Yamasa, especially the one from my sister, it's sun grown. The one from my dad, is shade, but I don't get much of that one. For the shade, I get the sun grown from my sister, and that you can use it as a wrapper, but it's a smaller wrapper, so you cannot fit a lot of big cigars. So I normally use it on robustos or short robustos as a wrapper. I use it as a binder a lot, the Yamasa. Like some of the Broncanos, they have that Yamasa binder, which makes it very special. But when I use it as a wrapper, it's normally on a short robusto, and there's some that have that, and I just made a cigar for Norway, the Christmas cigar for Nordic, which is through Castagli, and that was really really good. The Yamasa wrapper, it came out great, and there's some others that also do have it, like the Shashi Bobby, the small one that has Yamasa, and some others that don't come to mind also have a Yamasa wrapper. But I use it on smaller cigars.
Yeah. We got
There's
another
another.
question. Our boy Matt, Silver Cigars, is asking, you gonna work the chat, Martin, or are you gonna let me do it? What's
Go
up?
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, stop touching
You're
shit, old
messing
man.
around. Like, look, just smoke your cigar. Don't worry about it. I got it.
Hey, you've been gone for so long, Sal. I had to work the chat, so
You still didn't know how to work it. You still don't know how to work it.
Here we go. Hey, before we get started too long, Hendrik, what's your take on big booty Latinas?
What? Bro,
Rip the Band-Aid.
that's Hunter area of expertise.
Oh shit.
Well, he said he can't wait to see you next week. So
Oh, Hunter's coming, right?
yeah, he'll be there next week.
Yeah. You should join. You should come with him.
I'm gonna try to get there. Hopefully March.
Okay, that's good. It's also good weather.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
avoid July, August, even September. It's so hot here, but still good. Very good.
All right, we'll get the Matt's question. We'll divert from the BBLs. I enjoy cigars for the decompression and relaxing. Do you still find that in cigar, being that you've been in the cigar business your whole life, do you still find that? Okay, so he's basically Matt's asking, do you still find decompression and relaxation being in the cigar business your whole life?
Myself. Okay.
Yes.
The thing is about me that I do this for a living, and I have a responsibility to smoke the blends that I'm making in the factory, to smoke every time we do a new cigar, to smoke every time there's a new tobacco coming in, every time there's new batch being made. That's a responsibility. It's my job. I enjoy it very much. Sometimes I go, maybe you need to fix this, you need to correct that, you need to move the blend towards how it should be. So I do it as work. Of course, many times I enjoy it. Many times I worry that it's not exactly how it should be. Um, but I do it as my job. It is my job to smoke and to try the blends and to come up with new blends for new cigars. So it's pretty much a job, and it can be relaxing, and also it can be stressful when you're not getting the results that you expect.
Got it. So I kind of want to piggyback on that. So when you do, as you see it as work and there's some relaxation, when you get to the final product, the final production of a cigar, at that point, is it more of a relaxation, kind of like you've reached the finish line? This is the product. This is the one.
Yeah, the thing is, we're continuously doing a new cigar and changing blends. Let's say I'm doing a cigar for Principal Cigars, then I have to do a cigar for Castagli, then I have to do Smoking Jacket, then it's Red Anchor, then it's uh, uh, maybe a customer from Switzerland, and back to cigars. So it's always changing. It's always a cigar factory is always making something new. It's not like one of those big factories that have like one roller do the whole year one cigar. We are very flexible, small boutique factory, so we are always changing. And I'm always, it doesn't get to the point like, okay, now that's it. I'm doing nothing else, so I can relax with that. It's always evolving, always.
Nice. You kind of dropped kind of a lot of collaborations that you do, or that you assist on the cigars with. What's kind of the energy when you're collaborating with someone else? What's the energy? Is there a certain energy pertaining to what they're looking for? Um, what is it like?
Okay. It is interesting to say the least, and it depends on who is the person. Like some people come and say, Hendrik, I know you're a great blender. Do something for me. Do what you think. And that normally works out very good. Others are more experts and they know exactly what they want. And that takes a little bit longer because uh, what they want to put in cigars is a challenge. Sometimes it takes time to have this idea made into tobacco leaves for a cigar. So depends on how the client sees the project, and if they're very specific about the taste, or if they're a little bit open to my interpretation of what they want. So basically, that's
What happened?
good.
Still
Oh,
on?
yeah, your audio dropped out just a little bit, but
Did you hear
if you
everything?
can, we didn't catch the last part. If you can recap like the last few lines.
I'm not sure where I stepped down, but what I was saying that it really depends on the client. Like when they know exactly what they want, sometimes it could take longer. When they just tell me, I want this and I trust you, it's a way easier process of coming up with a blend. That's basically what I said.
Yeah. Is there a particular experience that you can speak on where it was just difficult?
Oh yes, yes, many. Uh, some people are just like never happy, and so and they don't exactly know what they want. But I had this small customer one time from Germany, and he was a fan of the Greek gods, like Odysseus, Poseidon, and things like that. And he told me, I love those Greek gods, and I'm gonna tell you the personality of each one, and you're gonna make a cigar depending on that personality. So that was a task. Imagine that. So I had to study each personality and come up with a cigar for that Greek god.
Did it work?
That I did the best I could, like if it had a strong personality, stronger cigar, weird, weird tobaccos, things like that. But it came out good. I mean, he was happy at least. So
There you go. So,
yeah.
so what's it like working with Martin?
Oh, actually, very nice and easy, and he was very in the beginning, and I was overwhelmed with work, so I kind of like had too much to do. And then when I got back to talk to him, he was like, "Yeah, okay, let's go." So I was like, "Oh wow, great, great." I thought, maybe not interested anymore, and because there was a time like where I was just too much way in back order, and now I mean we're still in back order, but now I was able to work with him and come up with the blends for him, and he was a great guy, easy and nice to work with, so no complaints there. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Now,
Hendrik, we're gonna tell the truth. That's why you're trying to cut me off. Somebody had to talk him off the ledge. I just want to be honest. Somebody had to let him know exactly what kind of golden ticket he had, because he didn't really understand. But you had a big black guy from the Northeast that let him know very clearly this summer. He won't admit it, but I'm gonna keep it honest. Had to talk him off the ledge.
So I initially met Hendrik in November or so of 2023, right? So we didn't come together to do something until January of 2024. So it was like January of what year is this? Yeah, so it was a year that passed before we actually got together to do something, and I think it wasn't outside of what Ian's talking about. That was this summer, but back then it wasn't the fact. I just didn't know at the time. Is just I didn't want to just place orders to place orders, and I didn't know if I was going to get exactly what I wanted. So that was the hesitation. And I had other people sending me samples, and some people, they couldn't get it quite exactly how I wanted it. As far as the cigars would burn hot, I would smoke the cigar. It wasn't the cigar didn't fit in the price range of where I wanted to be at. So then when I went back and revisit, and then you sent me those first initial samples for the Royal Blue, that actually was spot on to where I wanted to be at, far as where I thought I could place it at in the marketplace, far as retail. And what Ian's talking about in the summer, I was just telling him that I should venture out. And he was like, "Man, why waste your money elsewhere when you have the GOAT, and just, take your time and just work with what he has, instead of trying to come out with more blends. Just come out slowly."
That's not what I said.
I'm cleaning.
That's not what I said.
I'm making it sound nice.
Yeah, he's making it sound nice. We don't do that on this podcast. So
that's the G-rated version. That's Disney there.
Yeah, I'll give you the Ian version. I said, "Are you out of your fucking mind? You got the GOAT. He don't make cigars for just anybody. You got the golden ticket. He likes you because you have a connection for him for something from his past. He can make it. He has every tobacco you can think of to create any type of taste you want." I said, "You just don't know how to break it down to him. That's all." I said, "Just say exactly what you want for notes." I know the tobacco that he has, because Hunter tells me all the time. All he talks about was, "Man, you gotta come. You gotta come. You're gonna be in heaven if you walk through this building." So I knew the type of tobacco you had. I've smoked just about everything I think you ever made. So I already know what he's looking for. I'm like, "Oh, that's easy. Just tell him this, this, and this." And he'll be like, "You're doing your research now." I'm like, "He's gonna get it right, bro. Trust me." I was like, "Don't go anywhere else. Nobody's gonna compare to Hendrik Kelner Jr. I'm sorry. Especially what you're asking, because I already knew."
Yeah. Well, thank you, I think we had more problems with the Ruby, because the first one, it was some issues in the beginning, but then we got it right. But the Ruby took longer, because something that should have worked didn't work, and then it was maybe too complex and was not working, and I did something more obvious, and it came out great. I mean, this cigar is, for me, the Ruby is fantastic. Great cigar. So
I
sometimes
agree.
not overdo it. I was probably trying to overdo it in the beginning, um, and I think a more not simple but more concise blend worked out perfect. I'm really happy with this one. It's actually one of my favorites.
Yes, not the even though it's the Ruby is a Broncano cigar. I think it should be the cigar of the year, but that's just me. Because you get you get the retro hell, get some pepper, slight pepper. I mean, it's just like the perfect. I think it has everything that you need in a cigar.
I agree. It's really, but so many things depend on the success of the cigar. Not only you can have the best cigar in the world, but there's so many other elements that play a part in success. Uh, it is tricky, but more than you're the market there. There's many things that must happen for a cigar to be successful.
I agree.
Mm. So, what would you consider the most underrated part of the cigar making process?
Underrated part of well, the that depends how what do you mean by that. But um, I think I don't know in the market. I think some cigars that are very well marketed and with a very beautiful box and are a little bit boring, but safe, get more credit than those that are trying to push the limits of the blender and create an interesting taste and maybe not as perfect, let's say, structure, perfect combustion because they have tobaccos that are rich, that are not like a smooth burners and all that. And some people go for the safe and the obvious, then the something that is really interesting and really good, but different, and maybe you have to work for a little bit more. It's a balance, this cigar making. So uh, if you go one way, it's okay. Or if you go the other way, you can have some problems, but it's really tasteful. So it's a fine line between something really good and exciting and something that is just okay. I don't know. And if I explain myself there well.
Yeah, yeah, you did. Is there, and you may have touched on it before, but it could also go the way of just being too complex, where
Yeah,
it may not be a good experience or an enjoyable experience because there's so much going on, or they just can't define.
that's I think one of the things that we suffer from, since we have so many good tobaccos. You want to give an experience to the smoker that is, shocking, like something out of this world, and you go too much uh, in the difficulty of the blend. And the tobacco, each tobacco is like a live being, and there's a marriage that needs to happen for them to become as a whole, and that takes time, and it doesn't always happen. And it's very well known that you can have great tobaccos and a bad cigar, and you can have, let's say, two average fillers and one good filler and have a great cigar. It's the mystery of the blending, and that is a lot of try and error and patience, and taking your time to see what really works.
Nice. Is there? Okay, sorry. Anybody else?
No, go ahead.
I,
No, go ahead.
no, I
You
was
got
gonna say,
it.
is there anything that you've blended that is just specifically for you? It's not to reach production. It's not going to be for sale. It's just something that's just like this is me, not to be shared.
My brand, Smoking Jacket,
Mhm.
that is something that I blend for me and I smoke for me. And the goal it's like an evolving taste that I'm always searching for. Uh, and every time I do it, I revise it and I check it a little bit in all the different sizes. And sometimes it has been great. Sometimes it has been too much for what I'm trying to accomplish. And like one time, and this was years ago, we did my first limited edition. It was a Belicoso 6x60, and that cigar I wanted to be really, really special. And I overblended. I put too many things that made a lot of contrast. And in cigars, as what we think that is like after you first smoke, but then the big period that lasts maybe a month, where the different tobaccos are managing each other, and one overpowers the other, and in maybe 1 month, 2 months, then they're great to smoke. So in this cigar, the stick took like 2 years. It was unbelievable stick period. Like I smoked it on the table, it was great. Then the next day was really good. Then a week after was like, oh no, what's going on? And then a month it was terrible. And it took like 6 to 8 months to really, really to and like a year to be good. So that was like, and if you ask me why, I have no idea. It's the mystery. Some cigars are good in 2 months. Some cigars take longer. Some no, don't even have a secret. So those are many, many of the mysteries that you encounter when you work in cigars and when you blend different tobaccos.
Yeah. And I think Matt's question here, sober cigars, kind of ties in that a little bit with the blending challenges between what would be a core line and an LE line. So like you just kind of went in on, the 6x60 LE, the blending challenges between a core line and LE, like what does that look like or for you? Core line much easier because it's,
Yeah.
it's black and white, 1, 2, 3, 4 done versus LEs. Like I'm gonna let you kind of expand on that.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. The LE has to be something more special and it's limited. The core line is something that you have maybe that you're more familiar with, something pleasant for the smokers, and something that you can reproduce through the years in the future. So for the LE, you might use some tobaccos that are just a few bales, and there's no more. And then for the core line, you have to use something that is stable, that is steady, that you can reproduce in the future. And so
Hendrik.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, whenever you lean back, sometimes the audio goes out.
Oh, okay. But
We can hear you now. Yeah.
and before, no.
It
Some
seems to
parts.
happen when you lean back. When you lean back, it seems to drop, but when you're where you're at now, it comes in perfect.
Okay.
Not sure what that is.
I cannot repeat all that, but
That's
No,
okay.
no, you don't have to. You don't have to.
a core line, maybe like the Smoking Jacket Red, the classic, is tobaccos that are safer, tobaccos that you can reproduce in the future, tobaccos that you have a lot of, and you can continue and guarantee consistency. While the limited edition is a little bit more experimental, and maybe you use tobaccos that are uh, in lesser amounts, maybe some tobaccos that are more rare, and then you might not reproduce in the future. So that's basically the difference between core line and limited edition for me. Yet, in my case, the core line is always more efficient than a final blend. I have this idea of what the cigar should be, and I tweak it almost every time I do it again, which is not often. Maybe it's like once a year. But I think those are, in my opinion, the difference between limited editions and core line.
Yeah. So limited editions have kind of been a topic for us, right? Like we've talked a little bit like how we view limited editions. Are they necessary? We see brands come out with a limited edition every year. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're shit.
Yeah.
I think as consumers, is it, like you're mentioning, the blends change a little bit here and there. I mean, I don't know. Are LEs, do you see as quick money grabs, or is it
Well,
kind of expected from a consumer that likes your brand? If you come out with an LE, they're expecting one every year, and you feel like you have to fulfill that.
yeah. But okay. From my perspective, manufacturer, not a salesperson, which can tell you better. But I think the customer, like many people go to the shop like, what's new? Yeah, I smoke that. I smoke that. What's new? So they kind of want to try something that they haven't tried. It's like in their mind. Let me try this that is new, and I'll take some of my regulars. And I think it's important to have limited editions. Uh, not as many and as often as some companies. They probably overdo that because it sells. One thing about the U.S. That I like is that people will try your cigar at least once, and if they like it, they buy it again. Not that's it. But I think that uh, manufacturers and people that sell cigars take advantage of that idea that let me try this limited edition, let me see how it is. Also, the ratings and the blogs and this and that, they are talking about what's new, like what's been out. They don't talk about anymore. So as a manufacturer or as somebody who sells cigars, you want your cigars to be recognized and talked about and tried and smoked. So I guess that's why it makes sense to do the limited editions.
So, what's your future plans with the smoking jacket? You got some new stuff coming out in the future,
Uh,
or
I always wanted to do something, but uh, I always do first my private labels, Castagli, Principal Cigars, Red Anchor, Broncano, Lampert, and so on. I give priority to that, and then my brand for me comes last. But there's some um, there's some issues with distribution that needs to be fixed, and once we have that fixed, then we can start with something new in my line. Yeah, but for now, I'm focused on private labels.
since you mentioned distribution, is it easier to deal with distributors in the U.S. or overseas?
Okay, like in my case, it's easy because Casdagli does my distribution pretty much all over the world. So I
Mhm.
just and they're like my number one or two client. So it's Principal Cigars and them about same in size, like one and two. So they take care of my cigars, and I don't have to really deal with distribution. I'm focused in production, like I said before. So I that's what I know for distribution.
Right. I know from my standpoint, as far as distribution, it's not necessarily for the U.S. It's just partnering with the right people to go pick up your cigars on time and get them into the U.S. and do the process and the paperwork. Because sometimes, and we dealt with it, you and I, as far as with Broncano, some people I dealt with people where they say they can do this or that. And then when the time comes for it to happen, it's like a 2-day delay, it's a 3-day delay. Then we have to go another route to get the cigars in the U.S. That's the reason why I was asking if it's easier if dealing with if the people in Europe or overseas are, or it's the same everywhere where there's always something that comes up when you're trying to move the cigars out of the factory to the uh, so they can be distributed, regardless if it's a private label or your own label. Like, I guess there's always issues that come up. I would think, or I'm just an anomaly.
So once you get the idea right and how it should work, it's easy actually.
Okay.
part
Okay.
of transport, not distribution once it gets to the warehouse. That's your area. But transport now, it's pretty easy, I think. There's some companies that consolidate, and they're very efficient. And there's many brokers that do a great job. In the
Mhm.
beginning, more challenging, but now I think it's pretty simple. I
Okay. Just curious.
So I have a blend question.
Yep.
For me personally, it seems like every time I smoke a KBF cigar, halfway in, about a half inch into it,
Okay.
there's like a very distinct transition point where it
Okay.
basically seems like you just get a rush full of flavor. And I know
Okay.
it seems like a consistent thing from your factory. Um, what kind of separates you from being able to do that where there's other factories that can't do it, and you're just basically using knowledge and great tobacco where there's plenty of other factories that are using tricks, for lack
Well,
of a better word.
like two different questions. In my factory, one of the things that I can explain that transition is that because we use some many times more than three fillers, the leaf placement can vary within the cigar a little bit. So you might have maybe three tobaccos on the tip, and then the fourth one, which is maybe the ligero that's in the middle, is a little bit pushed further down. So once you hit that ligero, the taste changes a little bit and it transitions a little bit. So that could be one explanation why you feel that maybe like an inch into the cigar or half an inch into the cigar. That leaf placement and also the complexity of the blend. Like it had only, if it had only two, three tobaccos in the filler, you won't feel that. But with four tobaccos, it's a big chance that it will transition in that way. Also, you mentioned the cheating part. I don't know exactly what you mean, but if I understand, yeah, the factories that do that cheating part, they are making the tobacco all the same by adding artificial flavor ingredient, let's say, that puts everything as a whole, as one. Could be great, could be okay, could be so, and then it's not much interesting, not much transitioning because it's all pretty much the same. And of course, we would never do that for many reasons, but the ones that do get that evenness that won't allow your cigar to change as you smoke it through.
So I just wanted you to explain it for the viewers that are on here because they've been hearing me badmouth Batum for months on here, and I've been very vocal about it. I haven't said
No.
brands, I haven't said factories, but I've been very vocal about a certain cigar that for the last month seems like everybody that's a cigar influencer has been talking about it. Yeah, I'm going there. Like, yeah, listen, I'm not gonna stop, even though I got the goat on, I'm not gonna stop being me. Like, we
It's
still
all
have
good.
to
We're on the
tell
same
the truth.
page. We're on the same page on that one.
So there's a certain cigar, Hendrik, that
Like,
we all smoked
uh oh,
when it first came out this summer. Maybe like this end of the summer, early fall, and it was very hyped. The company said that they created this new tobacco from a certain one of their farms, and we all smoked it, and we all had the same opinion and experience on it. It was not up to par of how it was marketed. But within the last month and a half, it seems like there's a lot of influence going on online here in the States, especially that this cigar is great all of a sudden and it has all these nuances and tastes that none of us have experienced. And there's been other people that have said the same thing. Like, I don't know what these guys are talking about, where they're getting this flavor from, because it's not there. So that's why I just wanted you to explain it, because I'm just a consumer, but we have a master blender on who can explain it more in depth, and they can hear the words coming from your mouth, somebody who doesn't use any tricks. He just has great knowledge and great tobacco, and he's able to create transitions and flavors and nuances just from that knowledge, where there's others that, are using marketing and influence and money to create this kind of fake demand. So I'm glad that you explained it for them so that people don't think that I'm just bashing and being an evil black guy up here.
In my point of doing that is cheating. Cheating everybody, including yourself, because tobacco is a natural product, and each tobacco has its own personality. Each seed is genetically different. Each land gives tobacco the of seed and land gives the personality, the taste, the flavor of the tobaccos, the distinction of the tobaccos, and that's the magic. All those tobaccos from different areas, from different cities, even from different years, even from different countries, together in a cylinder of tobacco, and that's what you know the the balance, what creates the the taste, the feeling. So when you take all that work and you add something that is not tobacco to get a certain taste, uh, that's almost a crime. But many people smoke it and they don't even know the difference. I think. Uh, I mean, uh, that's for me. It's just, but that's my opinion. For me, that's completely ruining the experience of cigar smoke. Tell you more. I do that. I would never do that. That would be. But people smoke that and enjoy it. So I don't know what you don't do. So that's my take on that.
So what's your take on retrohaling?
Oh, red whaling. That's really. Uh, uh, was that okay with you, Mr. Sino? That explanation? That's my take on that part.
Yeah, that's exactly. I knew what you were going to say about that. That's why I wanted to bring it up.
Okay, okay, okay. Retrohaling. That's one of the um, for me, a very important part of the cigar smoking. I understand that not many people can do it. Many people cannot even try it. It's easy, quite easy, but you need to train yourself a little bit. And retrohaling, especially my cigars that have a subtle taste, subtle notes that are not harsh, that are not under fermented, that are not raw, and there's so many subtle nuances. When you go through your nose, is when you can, experience and identify all those aromas, and it's part of the smoking experience. I mean, if you don't want to do it, that's fine, but maybe you're missing out in some cigars. I would not do it in all cigars, but in some cigars, for sure, retrohaling is just what makes it complete, in my opinion.
So I have another question. It's kind of like a two-part to that.
Yep.
So, me and Martin, especially, we've been going back and forth with this. How can I put this without bashing too much? There's been certain companies that have been doing this kind of like round the world challenge, where they're taking a certain amount of different tobaccos and blending a cigar with it. Um, we have our take on it, and then I kind of explained to Martin that the one that you made, which was the Principal Commonwealth, that it was a cigar that to me is still top five all time for me. Just I've smoked probably five of them, and it's one of the hardest cigars to get. But
Yeah.
the Martin's take on it where he's like, I don't necessarily want my cigar to be like a buffet. And I'm like, well, if that buffet was created by a Michelin chef that put that buffet in order, I think you might change your mind. So can you go on a little detail of,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
process it took to kind of make that cigar come to life?
yeah. We actually made a video of that. That cigar is practically impossible to make, but it happened during the pandemic in 2020 when the factory was closed. There was no workers, so it was just me and the supervisor. And Darren had come up with this idea of making a 10 country blend. At first, I told him, you crazy? Get out of here. That's impossible. Where am I going to even place the tobaccos? But with the factory empty and no rollers, and we just like waiting for factories to reopen again, we said, okay, then let's do that project of the 10 country blend now. And the video is fun. I mean, we place all the tobaccos from all those different countries on the table, and it had to be like a 56 ring gauge, of course. And my supervisor Nacho, he took one half leaf of all of those and one different binder. Well, actually two binders, so we can get to the number of 10 different countries, and the wrapper. And of course, after that, it had to taste good. It could not just be like a salad of different things. So we use some dominant tobaccos in the binder to cover. Like for example, Yamasa is a great tobacco to cover up the sharp edges of so many different tobaccos. So we use some of that and some of other tobaccos that round up, because you need to get like a certain consistent taste. I mean, and some tobaccos are milder than others, and some tobaccos will be on top of others in the taste. And the result was great. Actually, I thought it was gonna be a big mess, but it came out very good. So we were very happy with that project, and we only did it once. In that time, in like March, April 2020, that was the only time we could do it, and the only time we did it. And I think I still have a few cigars there in the factory of those. So it was quite an experience.
There you have it.
Yeah,
There you have it.
it's fucking great. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, that's why when Martin was like talking about the other one, he was going on his rant. I was like, listen, bro, I get what you're saying. I was like, but Hendrik made one and it was fucking amazing. So there's an exception to your theory.
My thought process on it: one, how can you control the burn on that? And two, like the transitions or the flavor nuances that you're gonna get out of that is gonna be just like a stew or just a soup with a bunch of different flavors. So that's what I was thinking when Ian and I were talking about it.
Yeah, well, you have to smoke one to see, and the thing, all of them burn well, so the burning was not an issue. I mean, when you have tobaccos that don't burn, then you have a problem. But when all of those burn, and the supervisor is making, placing it correctly, and the tasting, there's some tobaccos that dominate. So you will not feel maybe the Cameroon if it's weaker than the Honduras, or maybe the Nicaragua will be a little bit stronger. And the wrapper from Ecuador is neutral and neutralizes. Then also the binder from Dominican Yamasa runs up the taste nice way. So all that combined, uh, yeah, like I said, came out good. Not pure and powering. I mean, you're not gonna when you smoke it 10 different tastes. Even if they taste different, all 10, you're not gonna feel that because some overpower the others, and that's what happened in that cigar.
That makes sense. With if all the tobaccos aren't working synergistically and they're not marrying together in the right way, to me that would be somewhat of a choppy flavored cigar. It's like too many things happen, and I feel like it would be more of an experimental and an experience cigar, but probably something that very limited people would be open to.
Well, that's part of the idea is that it's not like and it's not something that it reminds me of Commonwealth. Of course, there's going to be many different tastes, but it came out positive. And if a cigar gives you pleasure, gives you uh, makes you pass a good time and gives you taste and you like it, and then that's it. And I think we achieved that goal with that cigar.
So I guess this question follows somewhat along those lines. So what was your a cigar that you created that you thought was going to be, that you didn't think was going to be that great and it turned out being great? And then the second part is which cigar that you've made, regardless of who it was for, is actually your baby that you think is the best cigar you ever made?
No, okay. Well, best cigar I ever made, I cannot tell. My cigars are like my kids. I like them all. Some have different personalities, and some are for a special moment, and some are for every day. Uh, but they're yeah, like a cigar that I thought was not going to be good and came out good. Well, the idea when you make them is that they are good, so you work for that. So you're not thinking that it's not going to be good. Um, some cigars have improved with age, that's for sure. Um, and there might be some examples of that cigars that have really improved with age. But once you make them, you try to do the best that you can, and you don't make them knowing that they're gonna be mediocre and then they come out good. Um, so yeah, that's probably
so,
the idea there.
so so just to drill it down, so which one of your babies would be the all-star if you had to pick one that you only can smoke forever?
Sorry, I lost you there. Repeat that again.
So
What's
I
that?
know you don't want to. I guess here let's change it. The question. So if there is only limited amount of
I
tobacco, if you only can
hear that well. That
Okay, can you hear now? Okay, so I'm gonna rephrase the question. So for like, if you only were allowed like 4 tobaccos to blend with for the rest, which tobaccos would you pick?
no, it's not. Can you say the question again? It's not coming out.
Okay, so if you were allowed only 4 tobaccos to blend with, which tobaccos would you pick? I think that's probably a safer question to which cigar was your favorite that you made, right? Let me rephrase it. Which tobaccos you like
Uh,
blending with the most?
okay. The first question I thought I answered but what tobaccos I like to use the most?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure the binder is Yamasa. For me, that's my favorite go-to binder because it rounds up the blend nicely. Uh, Sharp edges of some tobaccos, and it just have a great taste, very lingering taste. But there's also some other fillers, Agent 88, and some others that are really really good that I normally use. Are you hearing me? Okay.
Yep. Perfect. Yep.
What
So
about this one?
Matt,
Question from Matt. What tobacco can
Okay.
you not get anymore that you loved to use?
Okay. Okay. Well, there was a brief time here where we could not get any more Nicaraguan tobacco, especially Condega, because there was a shortage. And after the pandemic, there was like nothing. So I had to take that out of some blends. And now we can get it back again. But I decided to not use it just to keep the continuity of the blends. And I substituted with something else. So that's probably one tobacco. and there's also a Brazilian Cubra that there was a shortage once, and then it had to be taken out of some blends and substituted for something similar. So this is something that us as a blender do. So it's best to work with family tobaccos and tobaccos that you can get to keep consistency.
Is there possibly a project in the future to bring that Nicaraguan Condega back into a cigar?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And I have some bales because I never used them all. I but now we have some, and some of the Castaglis and the principles they kept that, but like in one or two very good but I wouldn't put it in any of the new ones. Sometimes you get a request for something that is within that line, and then you use those. Yeah, it's something that we still have and we still use, but not as much as before.
Would it ever make it into a smoking jacket cigar?
Um, no, 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 because that's already with uh, Dominican, Peruvian, U.S. Uh, tobaccos, mostly. So that maybe in a limited. Yeah. Well, actually, the Gran Toro has that. The Gran Toro has one half binder Nicaraguan, the black label.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah. The Grand Toro. We just smoked that, right, Ian? The Grand Toro.
Yeah, yeah, we had that last week. I think we smoked it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Nice.
So I have a question that's about a certain cigar that I know that gets made every Christmas break.
Ah,
And this year, yeah, I, don't worry, I got the okay to ask you.
yeah, yeah.
I know I actually almost smoked it tonight, but I wanted to smoke with double perfecto so bad because that's one of my favorites. So I
Okay.
chose that instead. But um, there's a third cigar that you make that you created, brainchild of that you do every Christmas. It seems like it's going to be a every Christmas thing that you guys take care of. This year, I know you're doing something special with it. How much more difficult was the process for this year's upcoming version of that cigar than the previous two versions?
You mean the bubbled?
No, 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 no. I'm talking
Oh,
about the culebra.
oh no, my goodness, that you see, oh, Hunter. Oh, no, was
I
the
did see that on social media. I did see it on social. I saw some pictures of it.
Hunter pushes the limits. Like a 14-inch lancero that I thought was like crazy, and then yeah, that, but in a culebra, that's like even more difficult. But that is only our supervisor Nacho. He's the only one that can do that, and we can only do it when there's nobody working. Now we did it at Christmas break. Um, During Christmas break, we did the culebra, but we only made 40 sets of 3 cigars, and one of them is the same as the last Louis the 14th, and the other two are different, and they have different wrappers as well. That's just a crazy project, but we had to make really sure that it smoked well because it's bended, so the smoke flow has to go through the cigar around and back. It's very challenging. It's crazy. But I mean, I smoke a few and it's good. So hopefully it will get there and people will like them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's already ordered, so that's definitely my summer cigar for the holiday.
Did
That's
you
the
leave any for us, Zeno?
Listen, I left you guys last year's. I didn't grab any of last year's. The first year he did it, I smoked 10 of them.
okay. But
Oh,
better. The second edition, it's you should try that. It's tastier. I don't know if Hunter still has them.
Yeah, I ended up actually grabbing one, so I have
Explanation
it at
why
home
you
now.
feel. Yeah, it's pretty. The culebra you're gonna enjoy. It's yeah, it's a weird thing. Weird, weird, but it's good. It's good. And well, like,
Are you talking, or it sounds like the mic is still breaking up?
oh,
So anyway, we're an hour and 10 minutes in.
oh, and
Uh, can't hear you.
oh, okay. Let me see if I can the Wi-Fi. Do you hear me now?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should have moved here. You know, I'm outside in the house, and the Wi-Fi. That's a pine tree, and it works like an antenna. So the closer I get to the pine tree, the more. I mean, I should have been here maybe the whole time.
Now it does
Oh,
sound a lot better.
yeah, he sounds good
Oh,
now.
yeah. Well, okay. Well, now I know. No, no, I was saying that if you know the story of why the culebra is bended like that.
I don't. I don't. I would love to hear why.
Okay. Well, there's like with everything in cigar versions, and I've heard a few, but the one that I believe the most and I heard the most is that in Cuba, cigar rollers were allowed to take 3 cigars out per day for their own consumption. But they get cigars out and then they will sell them outside to tourists in the streets. So the factories were fed up with that and they said, no, 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 no more. So you cannot sell cigars, okay, if you want to smoke them, but we're going to bend them so they are useless. We're going to twist them and then you can smoke that. And for sure, you're not going to sell that. And then the rollers started selling them as culebras, bended like that. And they still sold it outside. So that's the story of culebra.
There you go, dropping knowledge on why Culebra now exists. I had no idea that was why.
Yeah, that's the out of all the versions, that's the one that makes more sense that I've heard.
How many versions are there?
I'm sorry, what?
How many different versions are there as to why the Culebra?
Oh, oh, in tobaccos, you hear stories uh, of everything that you know. You hear 3 or 4 versions of everything. So you have to make up your own mind.
Mhm.
Yep.
So I have
What else we
I have
got?
another question about
Yeah.
something that you make.
Okay, sure.
So I gotta be safe while I ask this. What makes your Connecticut stand out over like everybody else is just about?
Uh, I agree. Uh, uh, one, uh, one.
Oh, you're breaking up again, Hendrik.
Oh, I am? Okay.
Yeah,
Here. Is that good
yeah, we
here?
can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you right there.
Okay, I have to stand next to the pine tree. That's like an antenna. Okay. So my Connecticut's, I do believe that they're really good and different. And 2 things: the wrapper, it's aged, many years in bales, so it's settled down, and the binder for me does the trick. The binder takes out uh, that excess taste of Connecticut and rounds it up, and it's the Yamasa binder that's so rich, combined with a more neutral Connecticut, and a good blend that stands out. I think it's why it's so good. and really, I enjoy Connecticut's that we make very much, for sure. And I do notice that some of the Connecticut's are a bit more tasteless or a little bit more harsh, but not the case with ours. Yeah, I agree with that one.
Yeah, I agree. Connecticut's a hard one to nail. Like you hit on the point. Some can be harsh. Some
Yeah.
can, yeah, yeah. But you've got the
We're
recipe, so
we're basically we've been Sal is known as the Pepper Man. He loved Nicaraguan when we first started this
Uh-huh.
podcast,
I still
and
do.
he still does, but we're weaning him off of it. We're telling him that he's missing the boat, not smoking Connecticut. So we started giving him great Connecticut's,
Uh,
and
some are really good.
I
That's for
kind of started popping his KBF cherry, so to speak, because he wasn't smoking a lot of KBF. He had a couple that he did reviews on, but I was like, I'm gonna send you some stuff, or I'm gonna have you get some stuff.
sure.
So one of the
Thank you.
cigars that I think we all enjoyed that, like, I mean, even Martin goes crazy for this one cigar that you make, which is the original Papi De Niro.
Oh, okay.
Mm, such
That
a
Yeah,
good
that
cigar.
cigar is
That one's so
amazing.
good.
the one that's a figurado, right?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Also very good. Well, thank you. I'm happy.
but
Yeah.
you know what my favorite is, though. One of my favorite, besides the one I'm smoking right now.
Oh,
Um, you made a uh platinum rocket a few years ago, like
okay.
the big diademas,
Oh,
Connecticut.
uh huh.
That was the cigar that changed my mind about Connecticut's fully.
Yeah.
So yeah, so like we're an hour and 17 in. How much more time you have with us, Hendrik?
I'm
So how much more time you have right now?
no, I'm at home.
So you good?
Yeah.
You got any funny stories to tell?
Well,
Probably gonna have to move closer to your phone because it's still breaking up a little bit.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Let me see. Okay. So yeah, not many. It's better live. It's better person to person. Like over the phone is not maybe my expertise.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to come here. You have to that interesting things to talk about, especially the people that visit me in my family,
Mhm.
different, etc. So it's a fun time when we're at the factory.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've been to the factory, like I said, and got nicotine poison.
Yes, yeah, that's weird. I think we're the factory. I'm pretty sure.
You know
Yeah.
what it is? He can't. So not without telling too much of your secrets, but I told him there's a certain way that you like to create strength that I knew about because dealing with Hunter all these years, and we talk all the time about your blends. And he told me that there's a certain tobacco you like to use when you want to create the illusion of strength. So I told
Oh yes.
Martin
Oh,
over the
I think
summer,
I know.
I said, you probably had a cigar with this tobacco in it, and you weren't getting strength in the sense of, under fermented tobacco or Ligero. You were getting the strength of this certain tobacco that Hendrik uses when he wants to create nicotine strength. which is totally different. A lot of people don't know. Can you explain something about that process? What's the difference between nicotine strength and, let's say, under fermentation?
Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I follow that. My tobaccos, the ones that I use, are very well thoroughly fermented and very well aged. So in the fermentation process and the aging process, you lose the nicotine element, the kick. I mean, it keeps the taste, keeps the aroma, keeps the intensity, the body, all that. But the power, the kick, it goes down um, up to a certain point. And for people that do like the taste and they want a little bit of a kick, there's one tobacco that I think is you're referring to, which is the Pennsylvania 8%. Is that the one you mean?
That is it. That's the one.
Yeah, and that's actually a very rich tasting tobacco. It's a natural thing about that plant, for some reason, genetics, land, keeps a higher percentage of nicotine in the leaf than the regular tobacco. So even if it's fermented thoroughly and aged thoroughly, it has a kick. And we use it as a boost, let's say, for blends that need it, for people that ask for it. And it works well with the other tobaccos and it blends really well. So, yeah, that's called we call it 8%. It's not called that, but in my factory, we call it that because uh, the people that plant it, they do claim that has 8% nicotine in the leaf, which is almost twice as much as a normal tobacco would have.
There you go. See that, Sal? So when you're trying to get us to fucking blow our palates out for 3 days, smoking your Nicaraguan stuff that's been fermented, I'm gonna say nope. I don't want to smoke that. We're gonna smoke something from the goat that I know he does this process with, and now we're gonna
Look,
smoke that one instead. And I'll have you nicotine high.
look, out of what episode are we on? 15 or something like that? You smoked one. Calm down.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
maybe
you know what happened? It ruined my palate for 2 days.
No, it did not.
Martin, maybe I gave you 100% with 8% when you visited me that time. I don't remember.
Yeah, right. I just know it was a 54 ring gauge, and it was for a European customer. It was tasty and it
I don't
was
know.
super strong.
Maybe you had something like that because that's not yeah, not what we do normally, like strong. Good.
Martin didn't eat that day, probably.
Probably. I mean, but no, actually, it was. I had smoked 2 cigars before, then that cigar there, then the humidity. Cause I'm not from the Dominican Republic, so being in that humidity and change of weather, all that comes into play.
Yeah, that could
Yeah.
humidity and the accumulation for sure builds up. That's for sure.
Yeah, because the night before, I smoked like 3 cigars because a couple of people came and visited me because I was staying at the Hotel Santiago, and we're in the Fuente Lounge and smoked like several cigars that night. So I don't know, man. It could have been a combination. I normally smoke 1 cigar a day, maybe 1 cigar every 3 days. So whenever I
Wow,
go,
that's it. Yeah, you're not used to that level of nicotine.
yes, yes.
That's what I tried to tell him.
And
So
every
I have a
cigar tastes.
question.
Go ahead.
When we come to the factory,
Yes.
I was told that the storage room is insane. I'll probably be a little shell shocked for a little bit, but once I come back to Earth, there's a certain bale that you have that I've been told that when you roll up a leaf and then smoke it, it's probably one of the best experiences ever. So I'm looking forward to hopefully doing that when I come down.
Yeah.
And I want to see the Bible in person. That's what we call it, which is your blend book.
Well, it's tricky. We have one of the things that I decided to do from the beginning was to invest everything in tobacco. So from day one, that's the idea. invest in more tobacco, in good tobacco, and have a huge storage, way more than what we need. Tobacco does not go bad if it's kept properly. So yeah, I invested all my savings and all that the factory makes in more tobacco, and we have some very old and very rich smelling tobacco, great aromas, and yeah, people enjoy that when they see that.
So, do you have any private project maybe coming out in 2026 that you're looking forward to see how it does in the market?
Private, like my own brand, not yet. I'm waiting for a few things to clear up, but there's always new things from my customers, from my clients. So yeah, we're gonna do something new for Stefan Lampert. There's always something new for Castagli. There's always new things for Darren, like that. I don't know if you got to see that uh, 4 pack or 5 pack with the tie. The
Yes.
calls that Scalpa or has a different name, but that was also new. And there's always new things that we're working on. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's a Martin. That's a great cigar. I have
What is
only
that?
one left. I'm
Is it
trying
a
to save
haberdash?
it.
The haberdash? Is that
Yeah,
what it's
No,
called?
and that
it's
was
some
fun.
Thai series.
5 cigars and putting a tie around. I mean, I don't even know how to make a tie for myself. Imagine,
Oh yeah, that's
great.
yeah. Which one is
That
that?
cigar is very good. Like for the price point they put it at, is
Yeah,
smokes well above it.
Mm.
yeah, I believe so. Hmm, I'm kind of sitting there.
So anyway, what else you got, Zeno? Sal?
I'm good on that.
Um,
So I don't want to ask too much. I know too many secrets. I want to. I can't mess up my plug by asking a question I shouldn't be asking. So I'm trying to say hush, but
Um,
you know too much, Zeno.
did
I
we
know way
meet?
too much.
Sorry, did we meet when I visited Hunter's shop in October 2024?
Yep, I was there
Oh,
that night.
okay, okay, great, great. So we met
Yeah,
that.
I'm the one that when he told you I smoked the amount of double Lanceros, your eyes kind of got big because you couldn't believe somebody bought that many. But yeah, that was me.
Okay, okay, yeah, with a lot of people there that day. Yeah, oh, great, great that we met that day, and I'm looking forward to see you again in Dominican when you come with Hunter. If you come with Hunter, you have to take your vitamins. Huh?
Listen, I'm not worried about it. I'm used to the Dominican heat, so I've been a couple times. I'm good.
Not only
And
the amount of activities that.
oh, don't worry, trust me. I get the stories every night. Let's just say.
Yeah, some stories will make not live, we'll make in person.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I mean, as far as I go, like being consumer and in what they quote unquote consider cigar media, like what's your perspective on the digital culture and its authenticity? Like, is it obviously it's bringing more eyes and visibility to your cigars? We kind of talked about it earlier about its authenticity. Like, what's your perspective on that?
Wow. Uh, it's something that I think about a lot. I think it's for small factories like me, like mine and many others. It's a good thing. It's a very good thing because I mean I cannot be in the U.S. traveling. I have to focus on factory. And I know people like you, and we have a talk show like this, and I can reach more people, and I can share my beliefs with more people, my philosophy of work. So I think it's a good thing, as long as they are, fair to quality, fair to what is a good cigar. If it's not something that it could be bought, but more like an understanding that, okay, I'm gonna push this, or I'm gonna talk good about this because it's really good, or I'm gonna I don't know, let my people that smoke cigars know about this one because I truly believe it's a good thing. Um, so as long as it's like that, and it creates a friendship and connection, I think it has a good thing and potentially a great thing. Yeah.
And and from the I guess from our experience and based upon what Zeno said earlier about a certain cigar that was hyped, but it's not exactly what it was hyped to be. Some of the stuff seems like it's pay for play. Like if you pay or if you pay this amount, you talk great about your cigar. But I think with smaller podcasts like ours that actually, because we don't have any sponsors, we don't have anybody that we don't ask for cigars for anybody. We don't ask for anybody to, for commercials or anybody to send us anything. Everything we do is what we buy, and we're paying for everything. So we don't have those biases. So we're just going to give the unfiltered truth about the cigar.
That's how it should be. That's how it should be.
Right? I mean, if you think about it, if it would be a disservice for us to not be authentic and honest, right?
Right. And I think one of the reasons why we got into this was because that we started the podcast was because everybody else seemed to be a little too fake, and we just wanted something where, for lack of a better word, where it's real.
Yeah.
The unfiltered truth about things.
Yeah, it's
I'm not trying
about
to reveal secrets either,
real.
but
Yeah.
often, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying it's all about that, about being authentic. About what I do, I try to be as authentic as possible, and it's great when you talk to people that really enjoy your cigars and they're authentic about it. And also, I mean, nothing is perfect. Maybe there's a bad cigar here or there, and you have to hear it, and that's fine, as long as there's many others that are good, and this could happen, and as long as people understand it and they don't bury you because one cigar did not perform for them. It's I mean, you have to look at the whole picture, and also understand that this is a very personal, very artistic. It's all made by hand. We try to do the best possible, um, but it's a natural product, and you cannot just try one and have an idea. You have to smoke a few and understand the process, and then don't smoke the box, smoke the cigar. Don't be, um, let's say, flattered by the promotion, the money they put into the luxury it should have, but the real taste of the cigar. I think that's the important thing about this.
I, I definitely agree. Um, when these guys were asking, we're thinking about doing a podcast and we want you on because you smoke a lot and you don't really care. I told them the only way I'm doing it is if you guys are going to let me be me and let me tell the truth. And they were like, yeah, we're just going to do the same thing we do in our group chat. We're just going to put it in an episode every week. So I was all for it. Um, I'm a big KBF guy. I've smoked plenty of cigars. My brother used to own a Davidoff lounge here in Connecticut years ago.
Wow.
So I'm familiar with your family, history, the blend. Me and Hunter are great friends. So he keeps me up to speed on something I might have missed. He's always bringing me back something special
Oh, wow.
um, that you give him. So
Hey,
I'm spoiled in the sense that I know the average consumer doesn't have access to certain things, but the things that are out in the marketplace, I'm like, you guys need to try this, and they're like, oh, I've seen it, I just didn't try it, and I'm like, you're passing by some of the best tasting cigars on the planet just because it's not getting promoted like the other guys that were throwing money at it. So that's my whole philosophy on it. And it's not just your factory. Like, I'm a big KBF guy, but I'm also a big Tobaccos de Costa Rica guy too.
Okay,
I'm
no,
not going to sit here and lie about that, but I know the level of, artistic expression you have when you're creating cigars. And, I know you like new projects that challenge you. And I like, from a blending standpoint, I know that how honest you are, because I've been with Hunter sitting right next to him when you're sending voice messages to him, and
yeah,
you're like, "Hey, man, I don't like how this came out. I'm not a fan of this at all." Like,
yeah.
you're very honest, and I think that's something that's missing in the industry. So that's why I'm a big fan of you. Plus, I personally think you make the best cigars on earth. I don't care. Like, I'm always going to say that. I'm going to die on the hill being a KBF fan. So I'm
Thank
glad
you.
you came on the factory. I'm glad you came on the podcast tonight. Um, I hope I didn't scare you with the BBL comment, but we have to always keep it the way we are. We have to be authentic.
I appreciate I appreciate your support very much, and I appreciate that you like our cigars, and it's an honor. I mean, in this business, you do the best you can. You work hard. You try to be honest to yourself, and when you hear somebody that likes your cigars, that truly likes it, that's like um, the best thing. It's like the triumph of all your efforts when your baby, which is the cigar, goes out and people smoke it and they like it and they understand it and they value it. That's like the biggest reward for me as a manufacturer, and that's why I became independent after 20 years working at Davidoff. My father sold his shares. We became employees. We were not longer in deciding who we make cigars for or to make our own blends. The freedom of doing blends for people that uh, talking to people and hearing that they like your cigars directly is like the best reward for me as a manufacturer.
Well, I'm a total fan of all the Brancano cigars that you make. So actually, what we're gonna do is leave it with closing thoughts. We close it out. So I don't know who wants to go first. Sal, you can go first.
Yeah, no, thank
Actually,
you for
before you go, Sal, wait. Before you go, Sal, we're glad to have Sal back. I mean, I don't know what happened to his tan, but
I stayed out the sun. That's what.
boy, get your ass back in the sun, man. Look how pasty he is.
What are you talking about? I think it's the light. I got more light than usual. I'm not in my usual spot. Usually I'm in the garage sharing a cigar with y'all. You know, I'm just a little bit on a pause until I take care of a few things. But I don't
Okay.
got my studio. I don't got my studio light in. I don't got my normal background. I'm on my regular laptop. So you get what you get, Martin. I still look good.
Absolutely.
Still look good.
Yeah.
But
What's your
as far as closing thoughts, man, I definitely appreciate you taking the time, Hendrik, and hanging out with us, showing some insight. I am a fan as well, but big shout outs to the people like Martin, Hunter, Mr. Zeno, most of all, for turning me on to a lot of your stuff. I actually have a whole bunch of it in a Herfador sitting back here waiting for me. So just appreciate what you're doing, appreciate the authenticity and the quality that you're putting behind, and just keep doing it. I'm looking forward to future projects. I'm going to be on the lookout for some of that Nicaraguan tobacco, because I still am. I'm sorry, I still like my Nicaraguan stuff. I like, sometimes I like a little spice, a little kick to the face. I tend to, when I met these dudes, it was a medium full body still there, but they've turned me on to the lighter side a little bit. So I've definitely kind of smoking across the spectrum. So I've been enjoying my journey, and just appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Sal. Nice meeting you, and hopefully we'll keep in touch.
For sure, we will. So what you got?
I'm gonna keep it simple, sweet. Y'all guys that follow me on Instagram, you guys see me post this stuff all the time. I always say KBF Factory. I'll always say the GOAT. You guys know who I mean when I say the GOAT, just like they know who I mean when I say the plug. You know, one of the things that, your factory kind of indirectly did was, because I posted stuff a lot, that's how I met Martin, because he was making his stuff there. And he actually sent me a message because he seen something that you had reposted of mine and said, "Hey, you know about KBF?" And I said, "What kind of question is that?" Of course, like that's the GOAT. What do you mean? And he said, "My brand is made at KBF." And I'm like, my first reaction to Martin this past summer was, "Who the hell is this black guy and how did he get into KBF?" Because I know the amount of cigars you produce every year, and how hard it is to get new projects done because of the backlog and the brands that are in there. So when he offered to send me, your Royal, as long with his silver, I was like, as long as you're expecting an honest reaction, you can send them out. And he was like, "No, absolutely, that's what I want. I don't want a yes man. I want an honest reaction." So I knew what to expect from the Royal. And the first time I smoked it, I was mad when I got to the end of it that I didn't have any more. So I just tell people, smoke KBF, smoke Broncano cigars, especially the Royal. I know it's cold up here. That type of cigar doesn't do well in the cold for a lot of people, but that Ruby right now, for the weather that we have in the Northeast especially, is perfect. Take your time with it. The slower you smoke it, the better it gets. You can retrohale every drag if you want, if you're that type of person. Definitely smoke Principal. Everybody knows how Darren is when it comes to his blends. He very much likes to dial everything in, and you produce a lot of his stuff. Castagli's another great brand that you do, along with Lampert. Definitely smoke Smoking Jacket. The Hanky's my favorite out of that line.
Thank you.
I love that cigar. I tell everybody all the time, if you miss the honey aspect of old Cubans, for the ones that were able to get the real ones, that's the go-to cigar to me. If you're missing that one distinct note, I think that has it. So that's it. Just smoke KBF, smoke Broncano. Look out for that double Lancero Culebra. It's going to be hard for you guys to get. It's not going to be hard for me because I already have it waiting. But for the rest of you guys, I mean, if you can get your hands on it, you're going to be in for a treat. That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you, Mr. Sino. Looking forward to see you here in Dominican Republic. And I appreciate your support. I really, truly appreciate it. Thank you.
Hendrik, we'll give you some closing thoughts with us.
Oh, I don't like closing thoughts, but okay.
No? All right.
No, for us, this is just the beginning of a relationship. Now I met you. Now, we talk quietly, and I appreciate your support, and I appreciate that you are focused in what really matters, in the cigar, not the highlights, the flash, the this, the that, the blah, 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 the beautiful box. Is the cigar, not the marketing power telling you what to smoke or why. Smoke with your eyes closed, feel, taste, sense, appreciate. If you like it, know why you like it, the quality, the notes, and there's a lot of effort into each cigar. I'm very proud of what I do, and I'm very, very happy that all my work is appreciated by some people like you guys. And for us, and from my heart, I thank you for the support. And I'm looking forward to meeting you here in person in Dominican Republic one time or in the future. Or maybe I go back there, we see each other again. But I thank you for the time, and thank you for spending this time with me, and this conversation I truly appreciate. So thank you very much.
Yeah. So with that, again, thank you, Hendrik, for coming on. Really appreciate it. Glad, Sal, you're back. Zeno, as always, great to have you. And again, your palate is your palate. Smoke what you like. Make sure you have a true experience. If you don't retrohale, learn to retrohale. Videos on YouTube. If not, I don't know. But you're missing the entire flavor. And again, One of the reasons why we speak about so highly about KBF and Hendrik is because the experience. Again, we try to relate it to, you wouldn't go to a steakhouse and say, hey, char my steak. You know, you don't want it well done. You want it cooked to, to a certain temperature, so you can enjoy the juices, the salvation. And sometimes with salespeople, as a salesperson, I was taught to sell the sizzle, not the steak. But in this case, we're selling the steak. Anyway, we're going to log off, everybody. The best cigar you're smoking is the one you have in your hand. Thanks a lot for participating.
All right, guys.
Thanks.
First.